Speaking of professional wrestling, how about Big Bronson Reed being the fifth member of the new bloodline is now Solo Sikoa, Tonga Loa, Tommy Tonga, Jacob Fatu, and Bronson Reed, who if you put him really close, even though he's Australian, let me tell you, he does look like a bloodline member, will take on the team of Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn, and while I'm recording this on Monday, November 18th, by the time we get to Tuesday, November 19th, it may as well be revealed as Seth freaking Rollins as the fifth member of the original, the OG Bloodline team for War Games. I'll be honest, this came to me out of nowhere. You'll listen to my interview tomorrow with Michael Reiner, which was pre-recorded before this announcement. Michael had sort of thought it'd be Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. I had sort of thought, it could be Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. He also thought, maybe The Rock shows up at the end of it, which I still think is a possibility here in the Bloodline War Games. But this feud has obviously been boiling since the OTC's return at SummerSlam, and I do think it's going to come to a head. Now, it wasn't just that Bronson Reed was essentially hired by the new bloodline to take out the original bloodline because Bronson Reed wants to get in that main event spotlight, which also, by the way, him and Seth Rollins have a match tonight on Raw. Again, a perfect tie-in. Seth Rollins said he'd rather basically kill himself than work with Roman Reigns, but in order to get at Bronson Reed and probably get revenge on the new bloodline after they cost him this match against Bronson Reed, he's going to have to work with the tribal chief. It is storytelling 101. And I do think that a certain final boss is going to be pissed off that, Roman Reigns not only teamed with Cody Rhodes at Bad Blood, but now he's teaming with Seth Rollins, the two individuals that they beat on night one at WrestleMania 40 due to the final boss's involvement. I talked about this with Michael, and you'll hear this on Wednesday with my interview. There's so many scenarios that can play out with, does The Rock take the championship from Cody Rhodes? Do we get The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? Do we get The Rock versus Cody Rhodes? Do we get The Rock versus Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes in a triple threat? Do we get Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton? There's so many scenarios in here at play. And the other fascinating part about this War Games match specifically, which again, me and Michael Reiner at this point both agree the new bloodline is going to win this match. Potentially, everybody is down at the end. The Rock comes in, enters the cage, fresh off his Red One movie that was an absolute disaster at the box office. The final boss comes back, delivers that rock bottom, not even a Roman Reigns. What about the Seth Rollins? Puts Sikoa's hand over him, reveals that he is the leader of this new bloodline all along that he's put together. Now, the question is with that, Paul Heyman. Obviously, we saw at the end of the night Roman Reigns dial his phone for Paul Heyman after Jey Uso kept saying after that beatdown by the new bloodline and Bronson Reed, make the call, make the call. A lot of people thought that was for the architect, for the visionary, for the revolutionary. But Roman Reigns picks up his iPhone. He says to call the wise man to an incredible pop from that crowd in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And it says, this number is no longer in service. Roman drops his phone, end movie, end cinema, end scene to front of that SmackDown. The other aspect of this is, and the internet, credit to the internet and credit to the sleuths out there. Do you remember when the SmackDown after WrestleMania, when Solo Sikoa attacked Jimmy Uso, which for the record, Jimmy, Jay, Sammy, Roman, they're still not getting along. But Solo broke the wise man's phone. Did the wise man get it replaced? Or the wise man still has the phone that he called the final boss on? Does Paul Heyman turn on Roman Reigns and align with this new bloodline because Roman Reigns did not reach out to him for help when the OTC made his return at SummerSlam. I'll be honest, this is an interesting twist to the story because I originally thought the Wise Man was going to come back right away with the OTC. And I think the OTC is realizing now he needs his Wise Man. But here's the other thing. Right before WrestleMania 39, and again, credit to the other internet sleuths for digging this up. Cody Rhodes told Roman Reigns this. Again, this was before the Undisputed title match at WrestleMania 39, not WrestleMania 40. He told him that eventually he will be a chief without a tribe. That first Jimmy will leave him, then Jay will leave him, then Solo will leave him, then Paul Heyman becomes an advocate again. We have heard the rumors around town that Brock Lesnar, obviously after being involved in that Vince McMahon allegation, Brock Lesnar could be on his way back to WWE. Does Paul Heyman become an advocate again? Or does Brock Lesnar, not even Seth Rollins, what about Brock Lesnar as Roman Reigns phones for Paul Heyman to advocate for the Beast to be on the side of Roman Reigns in that 5-on-5 War Games encounter? I don't think it's going to happen, but it's just something to think about. And WWE is such a hot product right now when people are debating on the internet what's going to happen. People are so excited. We are talking about WrestleMania 41 right now, and it's November. And we know there's going to be twists. We know there's going to be turns. We know there's a major PLE coming up at Survivor Series and War Games. 2 rings, 1 cage, gonna be pandemonium, potentially big returns, but we know there's more beats to this story. And every single time during even the past 4 years, when we thought this bloodline story may be plateauing, it comes up with a completely new angle. And again, the underlying thing here is not only obviously Seth Rollins' hatred with Bronson Reed, but if Roman Reigns loses this match here to the new bloodline at War Games, he may have to realize he is not the tribal chief anymore. He's still trying to boss around Jay, Jimmy, Sammy. He's probably going to try to boss around the visionary inside of War Games. And Rollins and Reigns have made it clear their relationship may never heal. But will Roman Reigns have to come to it that he is no longer the tribal chief? Maybe Jey Uso, who won a single championship on his own. That was the first one to really give Roman Reigns any fight. The first one also that Roman Reigns recruited way back in 2020 to join the tribal chief and this new 5+ year era of the bloodline. Will it all be full circle back to the Mr. Yeet? All of these questions will be answered, folks, and I cannot wait until we get to British Columbia, Vancouver, Survivor Series, November 30th, Civil War, Bloodline, War Games, Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins involved, and I think, by the way, it may lead to, again, the return of the final boss, setting up a WrestleMania 41 main event. What is it? We don't know. And how will the Wise Man get involved? Will it be at Survivor Series? Will it be before? Will it be after? I don't know the answer, and that's what I love about this storyline right now. Like that clip from the Brands World podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brands World podcast right here on YouTube.